All right, here I am. It's me talking about something. Well, we're a couple weeks out from Christmas, actually 1 week away from physical Christmas Day. How awesome is that? Next Friday. I will have a podcast up that Friday, and I'm going to talk about Christmas. Specifically, probably because it's Christmas. So I'm actually going to give you a heads up of what's coming next week. I'm going to talk about Christmas next week because it is Christmas. And today I'm going to talk about Christmas because Christmas is a week away. Why not? Let's just have a bunch of Christmas. 'Tis the season. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, there we go. So you even got me singing today. That's all right. So this morning we're just gonna go for it. And I was out and about this past couple of weeks, and I have not gone into a retail store besides the grocery store to get supplies for COVID. No. And I haven't really gone inside a retail store because I'm afraid of how busy it's going to be. Not because of COVID. It's just, I'm not a big fan of the crowded stores. And so I've been kind of avoiding it. So most of our stuff has come from the internet and from local businesses. So we like to go to the farmers markets and the bazaars and stuff that they put up, and we actually buy a lot of stuff from the local businesses and vendors and things of that nature to help support small business, especially right now. Small business is so super important. So when you have an opportunity, get out there, buy stuff from small businesses. But that has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about, so I'm just throwing it out there. Like I say, whatever's on my mind. And the other day I was sitting out, and I'm out and about, and I'm just kind of doing my thing, and I'm thinking to myself, and then I answered, yes. Pause. That's funny. Come on, somebody laugh. And I was thinking about my Christmas tree. How weird is that? You know? So when I get home and I'm looking at my Christmas tree. We actually downsized our Christmas tree from a 7-foot Christmas tree to a 6-foot, 5.5 foot or 5 foot Christmas tree. And I'm looking at my Christmas tree and I'm thinking to myself, me and my wife have been married for like 30 years, and our Christmas tree is so different. You know, you look at the magazines, you look at the books, you look at the picture on the box for the Christmas tree, and, you know, ribbons and balls and those kinds of things are on the Christmas tree. And I look at my Christmas tree and I go, we have some lights on there, and we have paper on there. We have ceramic on there. We have actually a tin made out of tin. We lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico for a while, so my kids went to a thing and made some tin ornaments. And I look at my tree and I think to myself, man, my tree is just so full of family, and it's so full of life. It's not the picture perfect tree that you would see, you know, in most households, you know, with everything placed perfectly and all that kind of stuff. But it has so many memories on there. We have an ornament from mine and my wife's first Christmas that we couldn't even hang an ornament on a tree. If you listened last week, you know that we didn't even have a real tree until the day of. And there's our first Christmas together ornaments. And I think and they've been there and they get hung up every single year. And I stop and I think about that and I go, man, it's so neat to watch Christmas unfold every year. Because usually some households the day after Thanksgiving, some people are like the day after Halloween. I don't understand that one, but whatever. If you're one of those, I'm not going to say nothing. But we usually put up our Christmas tree after my granddaughter's birthday, because, you know, her birthday is more important than Christmas, the celebration of the gift giving and Santa Claus stuff, right? So we want her to make sure she feels important. So this year we put up the Christmas tree after her birthday because her birthday is at the end of November. And but normally and before that we put it up after my daughter's birthday because her birthday is in December, but not so far deep that we couldn't not decorate after. So we wanted to make sure that we put Christmas up. So this year we're putting up our tree, we're doing all of our stuff, we do our holiday traditions, I guess. And my daughter's here, we're hanging stuff on the Christmas tree, and then I come and put the angel on the top. And it's really kind of become a traditional thing to do every year. And as these ornaments go up, you know, you start to see, in our particular case, you start to see, man, and we start to talk about stuff, and it creates communication through the family. Man, remember when we made those? Remember when we went across the street to that guy's house and they taught us how to make ceramic boots, stockings, and so with the kids made stars, and we have those hanging on the tree, and we have all these memories hanging on the tree, and I just love watching Christmas unfold. And then you have this tree sitting there that's bare when you first put it up. There's nothing on it, and you slowly decorate it. You slowly put, and like I said, in our case, you slowly put pieces of family on there. You slowly put this thing on there. You slowly put this thing on there, and then you have this fully decorated, beautiful Christmas tree with nothing underneath it. It's just a decoration sitting there in the corner. And then a couple of days later, a gift shows up. And then a couple of days after that, another gift shows up. And then Amazon knocks on the door with some more gifts, and you take them in the room and you wrap them, and you do these kinds of things. And slowly you start to see this pile arise of the gifts to other people under your Christmas tree. And it's just watching that portion or that part of Christmas unfold, and to know, like, my grandkids just go nuts. They don't understand dates totally yet. Christmas isn't until the 25th. Can I open my Christmas? Is my Christmas tomorrow? Is Christmas tomorrow? It's just hilarious to listen to them sometimes, and it's very frustrating too. But when you watch this thing happen, you watch Christmas start to unfold underneath the Christmas tree. You start to see the gifts arrive. You start to see the joy lift up. I wonder what's under there for me. I wonder what's going to be there for me. I can't wait to see what that is. And you start to see this kind of thing happen, and it's really kind of fun to watch. And then I stop and I think about the star in heaven when the quote unquote wise men saw the star and they went to follow the star, or when the angel came to Mary and said, you're going to have a child, and to just the Christmas story unfolds through all these things. These people have to get from this place to this place. Joseph and Mary have to get from where they were to Bethlehem so that they could be counted, and then they have to end up in a manger, and all the things that have to come together for the birth of Christ, for the first Christmas, for the unfolding of what Christmas is. And I think that is so fascinating. So when you have an opportunity, go read the Christmas story in the Bible, because it is so fascinating of all the things that have to come together and the direction that God has to do to get that specific moment. Now, I know, like us, we decorate our tree, we decorate our houses. Some of us put lights up outside. We do all kinds of stuff. But Christmas unfolds every year. We go from nothing, and unless you're a redneck and you keep your lights up all year, But if you go out and you take your time to celebrate this time of the year, and I think it's really fascinating. Even people that aren't Christians take the time to celebrate Christmas at the end of every year, because of the joy and the fun that unfolds within their daily lives during this time. Now, I know that we've been sitting in, especially if you're in California or some of the states that are back on lockdown and all of that junk that's going on outside your home, but as Christmas unfolds, we're a week away. We're a week away from one of the greatest miracles of all time. And I think that sometimes people go, man, was Jesus' birth really a miracle? Absolutely. You got to think of what Herod was trying to kill every 2-year-old from 2 and down. The wise men caught on to his, hey, I want to know where he's at so we can worship. And, he had to get across from one place to another to get to Bethlehem. His parents needed to go through some issues. I'm actually going to talk about that next week, because Mary was not married, and Joseph was like, you're what? So you got to think about that thing. And in the time frame of the Bible and the law, Joseph he could have stoned his wife for having a baby outside of wedlock. There were some laws that were involved in all of this stuff that has to happen in order for Jesus to be born in the right spot at the right time for the right thing, and for him to be in that specific place at that time. And that's actually a bunch of stuff I'm going to talk about next week, because I love the Christmas story, but I really look at it from a funny angle because of all the stuff that has to happen. So watching Christmas unfold, you have to go out to your shed or your garage and get a box. It's work. And everybody, you may not enjoy it in the process, but I know most of us sitting around our houses, we'll look at our Christmas trees, we'll look at our stockings, we'll look at our garland that we have hanging up, and we will just sit in our house and be filled with joy. Some of us are going to have dinner on the 25th with family. No matter what anybody says, we're going to do it anyway. and we're going to enjoy people, and we're going to just enjoy life and have fun and just love Jesus. And I think that's one of the greatest things about the Christmas season is it opens up your heart for joy, and it just unfolds in front of you, and then it sets you up to get ready for the next year. Now, that's a whole nother thing coming into 2021. So we'll talk about that as we get closer to that. But just remember, next week I'm going to talk about some Christmas stuff and probably boggle your mind a little bit. So get prepared for that one. And I want to thank everybody that's been listening. 100% Richard has broke 1,000 downloads and growing. We've reached all the way around the world to Australia and Russia and Beijing. I mean, we are everywhere, and I just can't thank you guys enough. Just seeing the statistics for this podcast just grow and grow and grow from something I never thought. I mean, I thought I'm going to do this podcast thing, and I hope somebody listens to make it to 1,000 downloads before the end of the year. Less than 12 months. You guys are so awesome. Watch me on YouTube. Click like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Listen to me on almost everything that's available. You can go to 100richard.com and click on your favorite link to the audio podcast. You can go to Instagram at 100_Richard_ and check out all my weird stuff that I post. And you can go to my Facebook page, which is 100 Richard, 100% Richard Facebook page, and watch the videos and the other weird stuff that I post there too. So you can get to know me a little bit better by looking at those kinds of things. Hey, I love you guys. I can't thank you enough for supporting me and just by listening. And if you feel like donating, 100richard.com. That's just a joke. But if you want to, I'll let you. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy. I'm pretty sure most of the churches out there are doing some kind of great Christmas special this Sunday. So make sure to get to church, enjoy life, and have a wonderful day. Right on, right on.